Back in the book segment tonight, 55-year-old Elizabeth Kandrak took a job teaching at a middle school near Charleston, South Carolina. That was back in 2003. Ms. Kandrak says she was subjected to racial taunts and threats from some black students at the school, and the school officials wouldn't do anything about it. So she sued and won more than $300,000. Elizabeth Kandrak joins us now from Charleston, along with her attorney, Larry Kobrowski. Okay, Ms. Kandrak, you're in the school. These are what, 13, 14, 15-year-old kids?
12, 13, 14, 7th and 8th grade.
Okay. And you're in there and you're teaching them, and what are they doing in the classroom that upsets you?
Within the first week, I was subjected to all kinds of cursing, things thrown at me, including desks, books, and so on. A lot of racial cursing at the bus stops, cafeteria, hallways, classroom.
Now, was this...
I reported it...
Don't get ahead of yourself. I just want to walk through. So you're in the classroom. What are you teaching, by the way?
I was teaching social studies, South Carolina history, and geography.
Okay. So you're teaching social sciences. The kids are in there. They attack you, and from what the court testimony is, they called you a white cracker, white hunky, white C-word, MF word, all these kind of terrible things. Now, when I was teaching, that would be immediately that kid would have been suspended from the school. Immediately. If that had happened when I was teaching in the 70s. In your school, it did not happen. Why?
Not in this school. According to my supervisor, the principal, she said this is their culture, this is how they are, this is all they hear at home, and if you don't like cursing, this isn't the school for you.
Now, were the other teachers subjected to this as well?
Yes, sir. I saw some subjected to it also.
Did they complain about it? It seems to me if this was, rampant in the schools, teachers would have gotten together and said, "Oh, you got to stop this."
Yes, they did complain also.
All right. So, counsel, you take it into court, 6-day trial. Jury upholds your claim, awards Ms. Kandrak $300,000. Was there ever a doubt? And what was the defense by the middle school, the Brentwood Middle School? What did they say?
Well, this was a historic victory for teachers and students, and I knew once it got to a jury and outside the educational establishment how people would react, because just like you said, most people remember going to school, and if there was horrible racial, vile cursing like this, it would be unacceptable.
Right.
So I knew once it went to the public how they would react, and this was a 12-person jury, and they voted unanimously that it was a racially hostile work environment, and that the school district then retaliated against Ms. Kandrak for complaining. The defense of the school district was that this was the culture of the students and this was a bad teacher, and I argued to the jury that if you accept the school board's position, that any black student can go to any white teacher the next day in the school and say, you know what, I don't have to listen to you, you mother F-word so-and-so, because, it's my culture, or
yeah, it's an absurd argument, and the attack on Ms. Kandrak, they couldn't back up. Obviously, the jury ruled in her favor, and she didn't do anything wrong. What percentage of kids was this, Ms. Kandrak, doing this?
Out of a normal class, probably maybe 10%.
All right, so it's just a bunch of hooligans, troublemakers. How did the rest of the class react when they did that?
Well, what happened was when they realized the students weren't going to be punished for this behavior, it got worse and more students reacted the same way. And then I had students who were exasperated because they could not learn.
Yeah, I got it. Out of control chaos. Was the principal and vice principal black? Was there that racial element?
The principal was black and the assistant principal is Caucasian.
Okay.
This was a victory for the students, too, because it came out at the trial that the parents who live in the community didn't want to send their children there.
Yeah, who would want to send their kid to a class where that's going?
Right.
Nobody would.
So,
are you going to get back in the classroom, Ms. Kandrak? Are you going to ever teach again?
I hope to, sir, but I cannot get a job in the county schools
here
you gotta move out. I've been denied a contract.
If you want to teach, you're going to have to go someplace else. All right, well, I hope a lesson was learned by everybody here, and we appreciate you coming on. We'll wrap things up in a moment, the most ridiculous item, and some of you know.